To be totally honest, I was terrified and I didn't feel ready to be a mom. We were pretty fortunate in the fact that Zane was pretty low-key baby.
Happiest, just after one of the happiest days of my life.
He didn't sleep for almost 2 years, but besides that, he was pretty low-key.
I remember he wasn't really progressing in certain things.
And in fact, there was a period of time where we thought he was gifted.
My sister had come to me and told me that something wasn't right.
We knew he was slow to talk, but everyone says, oh, he's a boy. He's an only child, so that's just normal.
And I kind of explained it away as if, he's an only child.
He didn't really want to say the word autism for a while.
I didn't know anybody with autism.
You definitely have the moments of it just feels unfair and why me?
Will he be able to provide for himself? Will he be able to have friends? Will he be able to talk?
There's a lot of shame, there's a lot of embarrassment, and people don't really want to acknowledge it.
I didn't have the handbook to be Zane's father.
Sometimes God pushes you in those ways to bring out something better, but it doesn't feel like that at the time.
When Hudson was a baby, everything just seemed totally normal. Over time, though, things started to change.
I started to notice something wasn't right.
And it seemed like the longer we went through that period where we didn't know what was happening in his little body, he just started to withdraw from the world.
It was kind of tough because he never really wanted to bond with me. He only wanted to bond with my wife.
It was really hard to watch and know that something is wrong with your son, and you don't really know what it is, and you don't know how to help.
I started to bring it up to Shaylin that I thought something was wrong, and honestly, it caused a little bit of conflict in our relationship.
Your worst fear is that there is something happening to your child that you can't help.
I hadn't really thought much about autism. I didn't know anybody who was autistic growing up.
At first, it was very hard for me to accept.
I had a million questions.
Your mind just races. Was it something you did wrong?
Will he ever be able to grow up and have a family? What does this really mean?
You want to be the person with the answers. And when you can't, that is really painful.
I told my wife, I said, the person that you're seeking to be a part, to help you, to guide you, I said, I can't help but think that God's gonna form you into that person.
I 110% believe that God brought Gwen and Jean and Zane into one church and into this, into our family, because we needed them so badly.
The thing about sharing our story is that the other people that it helps.
It's helped Shaylin and me to carry the load a little bit easier.
Ironically enough, in the midst of telling the story and someone is being helped from it, it actually feeds back to you.
It feels so good when you can connect with someone like that.
You think about generosity, you tend to think about like money or sharing your possessions, but generosity, sharing yourself.
It's a natural reaction to hold it back. It's definitely part of our culture and independence, but it is an unbelievable relief to let it go.
If you have something that you're constantly holding on to and you don't talk about it, you don't put it out there, the thing is, you're constantly hurt over and over and over again. The pain can never go away because it's always there.
My tank had run dry, and then in they walk. And God knew. That's all that matters. God knew.
It helps mend and helps heal some of that pain.
Too many times we can find ourselves stuck in a present place and we think it's gonna always be this way. But the fact is, the next day, you're one day away from yesterday, and the day after that, and the day after that, and there's still growing and progression that can take place.
And so I just encourage you to not bottle up your story, not bottle up your pain and put up walls, but to be generous with yourself, generous with your life, to enter into community in this imperfect world, in this messy life, and walk hand in hand with people and watch the way that God will use people in your life and God will use you in other people's lives.